Hey guys, I wanted to show you guys my deck profile. I play DDDs, and I feel like this is the most funnest way to play them. It's really consistent as well as competitive. So yeah, let's get to it. I play three Ragnarok. Um, he's a 3,000 booty, and he can banish monsters, and he also has the effect where he can special summon from the graveyard with his pendulum effect. So he's really good. Got to run three, and then I am also running the three Keplers. He searches for the Dark Contract, which searches for any of your DD cards. So having him is basically a Dark Contract in your hand. So you gotta run three of him, and we also use him for the level 10 scale so that we can pendulum. And then I am running the triple swirl slime. He acts as a polymerization from the hand. You can fusion him and other DD monsters from your hand as fusion materials. And he also has the graveyard effect where he can banish himself and special DD monster from the hand, so he can extend your plays. And then I am running the triple necro slime, just like swirl, but instead of fusion summoning with materials from the hand, it has to be from the graveyard. So yeah, I play three of him. It's a must in this deck. And then I do play the three DD Lamia. She's gonna be we're gonna be abusing her for most of our combos because she's the tuner of the deck, and you can special her or you can normal her. Either way, we're gonna be abusing her. So you have to run her at three because she's the best tuner. And then I am running triple Copernicus. I bumped him up to three because with the 60 card deck, it's not so bad seeing him because he's a foolish burial and you really want to set up for your combo plays. And in my 40 card build, I am playing him at two, but I decided to bump him up to three because I am playing Pot of Desires as well. But yeah, I've seen people play one, but I feel like one just isn't enough, and we need him for the pendulum scale when we get him out with the link monsters. So it's best to carry three just in case. And then for the two O's, I am running the two Savant Thomas. You can run him at one, but I decided to bump him up to two just to put a little bit more pressure on board. Just I play him, so that I can search out Ragnarok to make my rank 8s because they're both level 8s. And you can run one, but I am running one in my 40 card build. But then for this build, I like to run two just so that, I don't mind seeing it. It's not that bad, it's pretty good if you see it. You can always get rid of it with Allure, but I find two to be the perfect ratio for using this card. And then for the one-offs, I am running the one Night Owl, the one Ghost, and the one Orthos. These are in here because they are my backup tuners. If my Lamia plays don't go through, I can go through with these guys. Orthos, I decided to play him at one because he can be an MST when you want him to, and he can also be a free special summon if you take battle damage or effect damage. So I really like that, and I feel like you gotta run at least one. And for Ghost is there because Ghost can be a foolish burial as well as recover banished cards. If you banish Ghost, you can target one of your banished DD monsters from or Dark Contract cards from the banished realm back into the graveyard. And then Night Owl is just there to recover. It's really good. They're all different levels. We got 3, 2, 4. So there's many ways to make your synchros. So I like it. I like this ratio right here. These are the backup tuners. And then I am running the triple Vanity's Fiend. I feel like this is what makes the deck really good. You know, you got to run 3 of him. It's really easy to make him. So you know, if you open up with him, you know, it's a good thing. If not, it's fine as well. You know, but you most of the time you will, you know, draw into him. So you know, you just gotta set up and then, you know, just lock your opponent down. And I feel like Vanity's Fiend it makes this deck so good. And then for my one-offs, I am running the one Chaos King Apocalypse because, you know, I find him to be really good. You know, I am running a lot of traps in here, and you know, we are running the face-up spells. We are running spells and traps, so I find that his effect here, you know, during your opponent's turn, if this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can target 2 face-up spell trap cards you control. You cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn, except Fiend type monsters. Also destroy the targeted cards, and if you do special summon this card, quick effect, you can do that during your opponent's turn, or you can use this pendulum effect where you banish 2 monsters from the graveyard to special him from the pendulum zone instead. So that's still pretty good. Then again, he is level 7, so then I do abuse Lamia with him as well. He's just there, you know, back up in case you need to make extra plays. And same thing with the Dark Arm Dragon. I am running him at 1 as well, just because, you know, you don't want to see them. If you do, it's fine, and they're just there to extend your plays and, you know, kind of help you. You know, they're kind of like your outs for, you know, problematic cards, if you must say. But yeah, it's really easy to get them out too, you know, because with DDs, you know, most of your monsters are pendulum monsters, so they don't even hit the graveyard. So you can control your graveyard pretty well. Most of the time, it's mostly going to be your swirl slimes, or it's going to be your Lamias, you know. So you can control them, you know. Then again, you know, you can banish them to control them. So it's not that hard to get exactly 3. So that's why I do run him. He does come with the structure deck, so whoever put him in there, you know, that's actually pretty smart. You know, not a lot of people play him, but I do because I see good use of him, and he's a level 7. You know, if you are playing, you know, a lot of synchros, you can abuse him with Lamia as well. So that's why I do run the one-offs of each of these. Just 1 because, you know, you don't, like I said, you don't want to open up with them. If you do, it's fine, but you don't really want to see them. They're just there in case you need backup plays. So that's why I do run these 2. And, you know, they don't see it coming, so, you know, it's just extra plays for you. Now on to the hand traps. I am playing 2 Effect Veilers, just because we are playing the spell Where Art Thou, and it's really consistent. You can always search out Effect Veiler in this deck, so that's what makes it really, really powerful. So that's why I like running her at 2. I feel like 1 is not enough, especially with a 60 card deck. You gotta run 2 at least, you know. And then I am playing the 2 Ghost Spells because I decided to play main her instead of Ash Blossom, because I feel like her effects are really underrated. I feel like she's underrated in general. She can stop special summons from the graveyard. She can stop people from banishing from the graveyard. She can stop. Let's see. Add a card from the graveyard to the hand deck or extra deck. Yeah, so she's basically kind of like this, you know. That's why I play her at 2 and 1 of this, because, you know, I still feel like Call by the Grave is really good. So, you know, she's kind of like Call by the Grave in a way. So that's why I do run her in this deck. You know, nowadays it's all about stopping your opponent's card effects in the graveyard, because a lot of card effects happen in the graveyard and in the hand. So I find her to be a little bit more useful, and she synergizes a little bit better in this deck. So that's why I run that. And then I do run the triple Dark Contract with the Gate. This card is the best spell in the deck. It can search out any of your DD monsters, so you have to play it as a 3-of. And then I am playing triple Where Art Thou. I feel like this card is really good. You know, in my 40 card build, I am running it at 2, but then for this build, I feel like 3 is just perfect. You gotta run it at 3, you know, just because I am running the triple Pot of Desires, which I will be showing in a bit. But yeah, I play this because most of my important monsters are level 1. So you gotta, if you don't open up with the right level 1s, you can always normal them and then play this and then search, and then, you can go off on your next play. So it's really consistent. You can search Kepler, you can search slime, you can search effect veiler. So really it's really helpful. Then for draw power, I am running the triple Allure of Darkness. Then again, these are targets for these would be vanities or any of your your break hands. Like if you have too many Savant Thomas in your hands, or if you have like a dead dark arm dragon in your hand, or something like that. You can always get rid of them with this. So it's really good to run in this deck. Plus the deck is mostly all dark monsters, so it's a must run. And then like I said, I am running the triple Pot of Desires. I feel like with this deck being a combo deck, it's really important for you to get the right cards to start off your combos, because with DDDs, when they go off, they can go off pretty hard, and they have bunch of plays that they can make, a bunch of monsters, a bunch of boards that they can make. So Pot of Desires, it doesn't hurt the deck a lot because we are running 3-ofs of like our important monsters. We're running 3-ofs of like, mostly everything. So Pot of Desires at 3 is definitely a must in a 60 card deck. It's really consistent. And then for more draw power, I am running the 2 Dark World Dealings. Just because I feel like, it's just for more consistency. Sometimes, you might have those brick hands, and you need that extra draw power to set up your graveyard, and then again, even if your opponent's drawing with you, then, that's fine because we are running the double ghost spells, and we do have the Call by the Grave. So, it allows you to see what your opponent is playing, and it allows you to set up your graveyard as well. So I feel like 2 is pretty good. You can cut it out for upstart, but I think I like this ratio right here. A lot of draw power and a lot of search power in this deck, so it's really consistent. It's more consistent than you think. And then I am running the 2 Twin Twisters, just to get rid of back row, and then again, you can discard your brick hands, your vanities if they ever clog up. So there's multiple ways to get rid of your dead hands, so there's that. And then I do run the 1 Heartbeats Feather Duster, just because, this deck is meant to go second, and, when you're going second, your opponent might have, like, back row and stuff, so you wanna make sure you can go off, so that's why I do carry the 1 Duster, And then for graveyard control, I do run the Foolish Burial. You can drop anything to the grave. And then I am running the 1-for-1. This card is really good. Too bad it's at 1. One of the plays you can do with this is you can let's pretend you don't have Kepler in your hand, or you don't have like the right monsters in your hand. You can let's pretend you have Lamia in your hand. You can play this, drop Lamia, and then special Kepler, and then Kepler can search for gates, and then you can leave Lamia in the graveyard, and then it'll set you up for your next play. So it's really good. That's why it's at 1. Too bad, so sad. And then I am running the 1 Dark Hole just because I feel like Apollousa, Bow of the Goddess, she is the threat, and it's not just for her, but I still like playing old school Yu-Gi-Oh, and I was gonna play Raigeki, but this is mainly I decided to make this just because of vanities. Sometimes he can screw you over, so if you ever want to go off on your opponent, you can always Dark Hole vanities and then go off. But yeah, it's still not a lot of people play destruction cards anymore because of cards like Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. But then I feel like you still gotta play them. It comes in clutch, man. Raigeki Darko, always clutch. And I am running the one Dark Contract with the Swamp King. Everyone runs one just because you don't really need more than one. It's just if you don't open up with the slimes in your hand, you can't fusion from the hand, and this is your last option. This just one because you can still search it out. So yeah, there's that. Then I am running the one Monster Reborn. This card is just broken. I really miss Soul Charge, so I hope it comes back, but probably won't. But this is the best card we have for now. And then I am running the one Crush Card Virus. With this deck, I find that it's we get to abuse Lamia a lot, and most of our monsters have lower attack, have low attack. So we want to abuse it. Like Orthos, he's only like what 600. Kepler has 0. Copernicus has 0. So it's like it's really good. If you open up with this, you can abuse it, and you can drop their monsters through the graveyard, and you don't have to worry about that because we are playing the double ghost spells and the one call by the grave. So it just allows you to see what your opponent has, and you can disrupt their play. So I think it's really good to run this. I haven't seen anybody run it, but except me. But I like it. And then alright, and then we will be going on to the traps. And then I do run the one Dark Contract with the Witch. This card acts as a Raigeki break. You can discard a DD card, and then or a Dark Contract card and destroy one card your opponent controls, which is really good. If you open up, let's say if you were to open this up first turn, next turn, you can activate this and stop your opponent's play and then screw them over, pretty bad. So I really like this card at only one because you can still search it out. So yep, it's perfect at 1. And then last but not least, I am running the triple Phoenix chains. I thought it'd be cool to run 3 of these, because it's a Fiend deck, and they're demons, so they're pretty strong, and being a Fiend, you're gonna carry some Phoenix chains. I thought that was really cool. So that's why I decided to carry the Phoenix chains, and because it can combo off of Chaos. What was his name again? Yeah, this guy right here. Yeah, you can. That's why I play him. Because we do have targets to send to the graveyard to special him. So that's why I play triple Phoenix chain, and you can also use chain on your Vanity's Fiend so that you can go off. So yeah, there's multiple ways you can abuse Phoenix chains. I feel like it's really underrated right now because it hasn't seen a lot of plays. Just because a lot of monsters can be targeted now, but I still feel like it's still very strong. So that's why I do main 3. You can always side these out. Which I think I probably would. But like I said, that the way I built this deck was meant for going second, and you gotta know what kind of deck you're playing. Like this deck, like I know it's meant for going second. It's a combo deck. You gotta find the right pieces and the right cards. To go off and make your plays. So I find that the Phoenix chains work really well. And because like you can stall because your monsters have 0 attack sometimes. So it really helps out the deck. And I find 3 to just be perfect. You can run whatever you want, you can run Ash Blossom over these, but I chose to run Phoenix Chains, just because I find more synergy with this, and chain with Vanities, chains with Effect Veiler, that's pretty, it's pretty tough. And that's it for the deck, 60 card deck profile. On to the extra deck. I am running, for my level 7 synchros, I am running the one Black Rose Moonlight Dragon. I was running Black Rose Dragon, but I find her to be not as useful as this girl right here, just because I use her mainly to bounce the fusion monsters back. Like Shadows and Blue Eyes and stuff. You can stop them pretty hard if you get her out. She's kind of annoying. You can stall with her. Then again, she is a level 7, so you can stall with her for a while, and then you can always abuse her with Lamia. Make your level 8 synchros if you have like a level 8 synchro that you want to make. But then yeah, I am running the 1 DDD Gus King Alexander. This card is just to basically to make him, because you gotta to make a Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, you gotta have 1 tuner plus 1 non-tuner synchro monster, which is him, plus Lamia, you get him. So that's why I run him. Yeah, he's really good. He stops monster effects, and he's the 3000 beater, so it's really hard to get rid of him. He can be annoying. And then for my next level 8, I am running the Curse King Siegfried. This card is basically a Xian with a 2800 attack, so he's pretty powerful too. He can negate, like, for example, if you're playing like Necros and stuff, if you're playing the fusion spell, he can negate stuff like that, so he's really strong at times. Plus he can negate like Phoenix Chains and like Monster Reborns, so he can come in clutch sometimes. And then I am running the 1 DDD Gus High King Alexander. I was gonna run Burlo Dragon, but I found that with this deck, I do struggle going up against monsters that are over like 3000 attack. Like for example, like I had trouble going against I went up against Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, and he negated one of my effects, I think, and then he gained 1000. It was really hard for me to get over him, so had to make him. So he can gain 3000 attack if you have 3 or more DDD monsters on the field, which is pretty easy to make if you have the Pendulum Zone set up. You can just special them, and then he'll be 6000 right there. So he's one of my outs, and he's level 10. So I do find myself in situations sometimes where I can make level 10s. So he's very versatile, comes in handy. And then I am running the 1 Harbinger Dragon. It's just he's really good. For my rank 8s, he's just a staple in DDDs. Same with Kali Yuga. When he's summoned, your opponents can't activate card effects. He's 3500, so he is kind of like a threat as well. So that's why I run him. And then for my fusions, I am running the double Flame King Genghis, just because he can extend your plays, because if you like get your monsters on board, he can keep special summoning. He also, I think that's all he does. If he is destroyed by battle, or if this card in its owner's possession is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can target 1 Dark Contra card in your graveyard, add it to your hand. So he's still pretty good. You only need 2, because mostly you use him to abuse Lamia with, so that you can make your synchro level 7s. So only 2 of him. 2 of him, because we do run the 1 High King Genghis, so the upgraded version of him, I guess. So this card is it's not bad. If another DD monster is normal or special summoned to your field while you control this monster, except during the damage step, you can target 1 DD monster in your graveyard, special summon it. You can only use the effect of DDD Flame High King Genghis once per turn. Once per turn, when a spell, trap, or card or its effect is activated, quick effect, you can negate the activation. So it's not bad. He's really easy to make too. You can all it requires is 1 level 5 or higher DD monster plus 1 DD monster. So it's pretty easy to make him. Same with Oracle King. I feel like you have to run her in the deck, at least 1. She's really good. There are times where like you don't want to burn all your life points and kill yourself. So one example of a good use of her is if you have Vanity's Fiend on field, and you have her and you have a dark contract, you can just sit with them both and just kind of screw your opponents up and gain life points while you're at it. Kind of put pressure on board. So must run in the deck. And then I do run the one Beowulf because he's only situational because he does require one DDD monster plus one DD monster. You can make him with the Swamp King card. Here, let me find it. Yeah, you can make him with this if you have no choice. But he is a little bit harder to summon out, but he's not that hard. He's just situational. Yeah, he can destroy back row and he inflicts piercing damage to defense monsters, so he can be clutch at times. And he's a 3000 beater, so he does put pressure on board. And then that's it for the fusions. And then onto the Link monsters. I am running the one Link Karibo because Link Karibo is really good, because we're running a lot of level 1s, and like sometimes if you don't open up the right plays, you can just normal Kepler, set up, get your dark contract with the gate set up, and then you go into Link Karibo and stop your opponent from attacking, make their attack go to 0. You can also use him to protect vanities. So there's different ways to utilize him, but he's really good too. If he's in the grave, he can tribute, come back, and turn the opponent's attack to 0. So he's really helpful, and he can come in clutch sometimes. So that's why I do run him. Then on to the next Link monster. I am running the one Burrow Sword Dragon, just because, like I said, with this deck, I really do struggle against monsters with like over 3000 attacks. So that's why I run him. He can put them into a defense, change them into a defense position. Yeah, he can't be destroyed by battle, I believe, and he has a strong effect. Let's see what else he has. He can make a second attack, I think. Yep, he can make a second attack, and he can also gain some attacks. Yeah, so he's really good. Link 4, not too bad. I was gonna play Apollosa, but I figured, Apollosa is not as important right now, because I do have vanities. I have ways to stop my opponent already, So I figured, if I'm not running Burrow Dragon, I might as well run Burrow Sword Dragon. Very good card. And then last but not least, I am running the one DDD Abyss King Gilgamesh, just because we do want to set up our pendulums, when we have to, if we do have a lot of monsters in the pendulum zone, we want to set up our pendulum scales. So he's really strong. He's the reason why I cut out Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon. I think that's the one, Odd Eyes. That one level 6 Odd Eyes Dragon that everyone plays. Yeah, I cut him out because he's not as important anymore. We make him instead now because he can bring out the scales, and you can special summon that way. He's pretty good. You can run him at 2, but I only play him at 1 for now. Just because deck space is kind of tight in the extra, but yeah, that's pretty much it. You guys can try it out. It's really consistent. It's more consistent than what it looks like. But yeah, if you guys want to know more combos and tutorials, I can also make another video on that. I've been playing DDDs for a while now, and I've just recently kind of mastered it. Playing all kinds of variations into the deck, and I find that with this deck, it's the most consistent, and it's very fun too. It's almost kind of like a turbo. With all these draw power and search power. In the deck. It's a lot faster than you think. And then for side decks, it's completely up to you. But for now, I think I would be running DD Crows or like Drone Lockbird or Triple Ash Blossom. It's really up to you. I am. It's really up to you and which it depends on the meta. It doesn't really matter. I'm not competing right now. I'm just playing for fun. But yeah, once I decide on what what to side. You know, I'll let you guys know, but for now, you know, it's not as important. You know, I'm just showing you guys my build and the funnest way to play DDDs. You know, is but yeah, that's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoy it.